rose-tinted glasses, a new vision. I gotta be honest with you, Hurt has one of the most unique playstyles I've seen, and it shows.
Really?
I mean, look, the fact that he's playing with the fact that it's just like, hey, I'm taking a lot more stage control. I'm being a little bit more patient. Look what he's doing right now. He's just sitting there. He's just like, hey, I'm just gonna be throwing grenades at you and just annoying you. He's not going for anything crazy. He's not doing anything. He's just playing his fundamentals.
I like that patient play that he was just doing right now. He was obviously center stage is pretty good, and Ray got control of that. But Hurt knows when Ray wants to approach, punishes it, and gets them at consistent damage right now. So right now, they're perfectly fine just being in the corner because they know they can apply pressure even when they're not far away. They have like not that much stage. They're fine. They know what they can pressure with. They know how to get Ray in a bad spot. They're just trying to get Zelda used to like these uncomfortable situations so that they can add more damage, accumulating it like right now to where now they're at kill percent.
At 111%. What does that have to say for Hurt with his new playstyle? Oh, and Hurt already taking a new stock off rip. I mean, only 10% into his name, and that's it. I mean, you got to be honest here. With the playstyle that he's taking right now, it is going to take him so much farther than anyone else within the RGB.
This is so dominant.
I mean, a lot of players don't understand, like, hey, they need to chill out because a lot of players are very aggressive. They learn, the American way of playing Smash. I mean, that's the best way to say it because a lot of players are super aggressive. And the fact that Hurt is showing a new playstyle to the RGB, and a lot of people are going to be considering after this, hey, maybe I should take it a little bit more patient because I've seen a lot of Link players here in the first place. So it's just a really good idea that it's just the fact that he's just playing patient is going to change the way that not only some of the players, and another stock has been taken by Ray.
He has this very kind of baiting you to try and play around the grenades, and if you don't want to approach him, he's going to make sure that you never get to. And if you do and choose incorrectly, he punishes you hard for it. Like right now, he already has 2 stocks, and he's just keeping this momentum going. If Ray has not gotten a chance to actually never mind. I was saying Ray was not getting a chance to actually solidify a stock, like get up close and just make sure that they can actually get this connecting, lasting kill setup or anything, or just a solid hit from them. But they got it right there. It's not the worst spot to be in. They're at 74%, but knowing Ray, they can definitely still try and hopefully take this back, but it's not looking that good right now. Hurt just has so much pressure, so much momentum right now.
Man, you gotta be honest with you. Like, you see the grenades, you see how Zelda's been trying to set herself up, and already at 113%. You see the disruption that these grenades have, especially with Zelda trying to put up her Phantom. I mean, you got to be honest, it's so not disrespectful, but disrupting towards the Zelda player in general. It's very, very it's very oppressive towards them.
They look really uncomfortably honest. They keep trying to go for options of like down B, side B, hopefully try to get Hurt to commit to an option that they can hopefully punish. But they can't even finish setting anything up. Ray's just not being able to set up anything they want to. It's looking really dominant right now for Hurt. It's just like really difficult for Ray to get anything started, and that's gonna be it. Just insane pressure from Hurt right there, taking the first game. They gotta adapt, and this is gonna be an intense set, but I could definitely see it being possible.
I mean, I gotta be honest here. I mean, look, I love Ray. Ray's been doing really, really well. I mean, the fact that he needs to adapt towards this really, really awkward player. I mean, he's not awkward, but it's a really good play style that Snake just really, really does. Just, how do I say it? It becomes very advantageous.
Yes.
Sorry, pronunciation there, but it's very just promoting the fact that he has these really great ways to get around stage. The fact that he's able to zone it, and there's just a lot of control.
I want to point out, like, his movement right now is really good with Snake, just because, I mean, as expected from the best Snake, but his movement is just so well right now. Of like, Ray is having so much trouble just like getting, like I said last game, getting anything set up. But hopefully in this game they look a little better. They're getting used to what Hurt wants to look for, what Hurt is going for, what kind of, how do they want, where do they throwing their grenades and stuff like that, of just like where do they want to establish stage control, where do they set things up. And Ray is getting used to trying to weave around this stuff, but it's still looking somewhat close right now. I could see Ray's adaptation right now, but Hurt's momentum, Hurt's movement, general movement around anything Ray wants to set up, whether it's just a side B, any kind of like Phantom Knight or anything like any setup that they want to try and go for, they have an idea in their head. Hurt seems to be ready for it and knows exactly how to move around it.
And I gotta be honest here. I mean, the fact that Ray is actually like, Ray lost the stock at this point from the last match. I mean, look at the timer. He did lose a stock during the last match. The fact that he's taking it a little bit more patiently, look, it is a very awkward situation that he's in, but he has to sit here and be like, hey, I'm going to be the one who's going to be showing her that, you know, he's going to show her the hurt, you know? He has to do that. And the only way that he's going to be doing that is by just playing his game and playing the long
you
game.
See right now how he's like right there next to the C4, but he's not right on top of it. He's like in the distance that he can barely not get hit by the C4, where he's just trying to bait Hurt to try and commit to an option of either detonating C4 or approaching in some way, and Ray's trying to find an option to do that. They're not dead yet. They're playing very well so far. Like they're in a somewhat disruptive spot, but they could still come back from this. They're just playing very carefully like that right there. They just gotta wait for options like that. See? Good dominant pressure right now. They're making sure that they're playing their cards very, very closely, very carefully. They play their cards right, so that Hurt is in a bad spot, and he can take that first stock.
That it's just insane. I mean, look, Ray's really do showing like, hey, I am the top Zelda player here, and yeah, you did mention it. Like, I didn't know Ray. I mean, you know the what's it called, the players more than I do, because you went against these people. I mean, you already know this. So me, I'm just a scrub looking from the outside in. I gotta be honest. And with Hurt already taking another stock in general, I mean, both of these players are just insane. I mean,
explosive.
Yes. I mean, both of them are just playing the range game. I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this is boring. But no, like, this is just a very hard situation in general. You are going against top 12 in the world, #1 Snake. It's just, you don't have a lot of options to do. You got to do what's best.
Unfortunately, it is kind of optimal right now that they got to slow down the match a lot, just to try and get used to the way that Hurt wants to approach and what kind of options they want to look for, how to get out of neutral to get themselves an advantage spot. Like, so the timer's going to run down. Right now it's at 3 minutes, and they're both at 2 stocks. I could see this going to time, but Ray is making sure that they don't die. That first stock, they barely died at 200. Hurt is getting some good adaptation right now that almost kills Hurt, or that almost kills Ray right now, but Hurt's playing. It looks like he's adapted pretty well how Hurt was playing in that first stock, because he's trying to make sure that Ray at least dies at least sooner than that, so he can keep this momentum, so that even if they time out, Hurt will at least have a stock lead or a percent lead. But Ray still has to try and slow down this.
What a beautiful setup. Oh, my Lord.
That was really amazing from Hurt right there.
I mean, okay, you gotta look at the timer right now. I mean, it's already down to, what, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This has been the longest game that we've had experienced on stream. What do you think so far, like, with the fact that, hey, this has to be one of the longest games that we experienced?
That's okay. They're both putting up a pretty good pace so far. Ray, look, see, those are good setups I could see them go for, where they could go for some good like grab setups that kind of puts them in a spot above them, so that Hurt can be kind of uncomfortable on how to land, how to recover, or how to recover their neutral state from disadvantage. I could see Ray still getting a somewhat back from this, but it looks pretty rough right now. But with the timer getting closer to 0, this is starting to look a little more rough, and Ray is having trouble getting these connections that can get Hurt stock. It's putting Ray in a bad spot right now.
Hurt is just setting up as much as possible. I mean, Hurt with a beautiful down smash already taking the game. I mean, the way that Hurt is playing right now is going to change the way that the RGV starts playing. I mean, we have a bunch of Link players that are going to be playing a little bit more patiently. I mean, if they experience, you know, the Hurt from the Hurt, I mean, they're going to be seeing that. Like, they do have to be a little bit more patient. I mean, you saw that, and that was the only thing that was keeping Ray alive, was the fact that he played around the fact that it's like, hey, there's a lot of projectiles going on. There's going to be a lot of things. Let me play my zoning game while you're playing your zoning game. At least both of us are going to be doing blow for blow at that point.
From what I've noticed, I see Ray is playing very patient right now, but they kind of have to, just because Snake has better zoning options than Zelda does. Just blatantly better options that Zelda could do, because Zelda's options can be kind of linear sometimes, and Snake has so many choices that he can make in so many different situations that keep him in advantage state, and he just took the first stock right now. But this is not impossible for Ray. Honestly, I do see Ray's adaptation in these games. He's playing slowly but surely, taking that first stock in a dominant with a nice up air from right there, putting on both and like hit stun, but he was the first to attack. So right now, nice call out with that up B, just because he knew he was gonna try and set something up, and he like, okay, I want to get to your side because this is a good call out option. Doesn't work multiple times, but it at least puts me in an okay spot. You have 12%. I could slowly try and get this damage back, maybe, but see, now Her's trying to play keep away because they want to keep this percent lead. That C4. Oh no.
I mean, with the percentage already, I mean, it's 73 to 12. I mean, Hurt is really trying to play this game patiently, and I do have to respect it. I mean, that's his game plan since game one. Not even since literally game one of this. Ever since he was on stream, he literally did say, "Look, a lot of players are going to be aggressive," and at that point, it's up to assume that if they're going to be playing aggressive, he needs to play back. I mean, that's the only way that they're going to do it. And a lot of people do play against snakes and stuff, but oh my god, that setup was insane.
Okay, this is very... No! Okay, they had to... as soon as they did side B, they immediately started... They had to commit to that, and that was just the worst option they could have chose there. That Hurt was immediately ready for ran up and up tilt, just because they were in so much, like... They were still committing to that move. They couldn't cancel it or anything, so it was just like... Not the best right now, and Hurt has a whole stock lead to Ray right now. This is looking really bad from a 2-0 lead. I have seen 3-0s happen. I have seen reverse 3-0s happen, but against the best snake in the world, I don't know. But this is also Ray, and this is also one of the best Zeldas that I know. This is one of the best Zeldas in Texas. They can definitely have some momentum to get this back, and I can see it happening in many different ways. But they gotta get this momentum back. They gotta get back in advantage right now. But right now, Hurt is just having so much control over everything on stage, every sort of setup that Ray would look for. They have a grenade to block it out, down tilt. Covers that approach option. Ray doesn't want to approach right now. That dash attack's gonna get punished. Down there.
I gotta be honest. Just as you mentioned, just the zoning game that Hurt just plays. It's just, it's phenomenal. It's almost an art. It's almost down to a science. I mean,
it really is.
I love this so much. Look, I hate zoners in every single game, but I've learned to start loving them more ever since I walked into this arena and realizing, look, Hurt is not just throwing projectiles, and Hurt taking the set against Ray. Look, Ray has a lot to learn now because, look, if Ray wants to become one of the best Zeldas against anyone who's a little bit more zony, Ray went crazy. I got to be honest with you.